aliens, welcome to 2013.
Just in case you just got here.
Or woke up. Yeah, that happens. I'm Sonya.
And I'm Al.
Al, new year.
Yes.
New season. New comics, cartoons, and collectibles to review.
Yes. And you know what? All of it back here in our home in King's Comics.
Oh, it's nice to be back.
It really is.
What are we going to look at this week, though?
Okay, well, this week we're looking at Harbinger.
Excellent.
We're looking at JinnRise.
Amazing.
And Ray will be along to look at some Bishoujo statues.
Which is going to be pretty cool, I reckon.
I think so too.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Oh, you
I'm
wanna
ready.
go now?
I'm
You
ready.
wanna go now?
I'm ready.
You wanna-
Yes.
Okay,
Let's go.
and
Ready and
break!
When aliens invade the planet and start blowing things up, you have to kind of weigh up your options. Do you run underground? Do you launch a nuke at them? Do you infect them with the common cold? Do you play synthesizer music at them?
Yeah, I never entirely got that one.
No.
Yeah. The option that I've never seen done before, though, is release the genie.
No.
Yeah.
Completely new.
I personally think that's probably because when a tractor beam is pulling up all your friends and family into a flying saucer, the one thing you don't think to do is run around the house rubbing all your crockery to see if a magic guy pops out.
No, but in JinnRise, the new series from IDW, that is exactly what a young boy in Marrakesh decides to do.
Well, I mean, we've had cowboys versus aliens.
We have.
Why not genies versus aliens?
Why not indeed?
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool concept that kind of lends itself to some impressive visuals, but as an idea, it could seem a little bit shallow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the writing by Soheb Awan, it's entirely serviceable, but not outstanding. And the character realization is a bit lacking, I've got to say. I mean, in a quirky mashup like this one, you really need some solid, empathetic characters to anchor you, and that's not really evident in this first issue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they will develop throughout the series. That's what's going to happen. But in this first issue, there was nothing really to latch onto. No character that really got to you. I tell you what, though, I would pick this up again just for the artwork. The genie in this looks amazing.
Yeah, look, that's got to be a high point,
Yeah.
I think. The last 5 pages when the genie shows up and just starts ditching around alien fighter jets, that is pretty cool. That's undeniably
It is.
cool.
Well, the art overall in this is pretty cool. Tony Vasallo has done a wonderful job at creating this genie in almost there's kind of an evil Disney kind of version to
Yeah, I suppose,
him.
yeah.
And the colour work really needs to be mentioned as well. I think Timothy Yates has done a really gorgeous job at matching up the beautiful colours and tones to Vasallo's wonderful artwork.
Yeah, so I mean, well, like I say, the artwork is very good,
Yeah.
but story-wise, I didn't find it that engaging. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit alien invasioned out. You know, there's just so many of them. I kind of want somebody to write a comic where humanity is invading somebody else's planet.
And we're not horribly outgunned.
Yeah, just for a change.
Yes.
I don't know. But look, what it comes down to, if I saw the second issue of this sitting on a friend's coffee table, I would probably pick it up and have a look, you know, even just to see how the genie's looking.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give this one a borrow.
Yeah, look, I tend to agree with you. The story didn't grab me as much as I would have liked it to. If it was just that tiny bit more character realization,
Yeah.
I would have been into this. As it is, I'm a bit like you. If I happen to see it, I'm going to flick through, have a look at the art style. So it's a really solid borrow from me as well. And it's given me a very good idea.
Oh, really?
Well, next time the aliens invade,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to go through my kitchen and rub all my teapots.
I hope to be around to see that.
I've got old teapots.
Oh, well, you know, do you want to give them a try now?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, welcome back, Ray.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
Thank you, Sonya.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Let's jump straight into this. Who
All right.
are these lovely ladies we have in front of us?
These are the Kotobukiya Bishoujo statues. Bishoujo in Japanese literally means beautiful young girl. Bishoujo characters are seen in almost all genres of anime and manga, though the term itself is technically not a genre, but instead a type of character design. Sometimes a series may focus on the art of these attractive female characters and may occasionally be perceived negatively in that the narrative is sacrificed. That said, one cannot deny the alluring quality that these figures have.
Indeed.
Yes.
Do we have something similar for the male characters as well?
Yes, there is. They're called Bishonen, actually.
Good
Yes.
to know.
Yes.
Keep an eye out for those. But let's talk about these ladies here.
Well, yes, okay. I just wanted to introduce our viewers at home to, you know, the types of designs that you can find in the Bishoujo collection. And Kotobukiya have done a Marvel and a DC line. We've got Marvel's Storm and Elektra and DC's Power Girl and Huntress here. As you can see, they're all, you know, quite a varied array of design types and sculpts. And you can also see the through line with the characters as well, with their sort of youthful appearance. And they're all quite light as well, all kind of buoyant. There's, yeah, a light quality about them. There's nothing sort of heavy or bogging them down.
No.
But I wanted to focus on this figure here. Now, that's right, Star Wars has officially joined the lineup, so you can expect to see all the wonderful ladies of this sci-fi powerhouse reimagined. The first one off the rank is Ace Pilot, Jedi Warrior, daughter of Han Solo and Princess Leia Organa, Jaina Solo Fell. One of the most popular characters in the expanded universe, Jaina Solo has appeared in numerous novels and comic books that take place after the events of Return of the Jedi. The figure is based on an illustration by master Japanese illustrator Shunya Yamashita. Now, all the figures before you are classified as 1/7 scale, which basically equates to about 9 inches tall.
And she's quite a cute design as well, this
Very
one.
cute, yes.
I like her casual pose in the iconic flight suit, wearing a tank top underneath as though she's just finished blitzing a training session, and it's kind of reinforced by the cheekiness in her expression.
Yes, that or maybe she's even finished fixing an X-Wing or a Y-Wing. It could also suggest the mechanical-minded side of her, which she inherited from Han. The hanging jumpsuit reminds me of a mechanic's overalls, and yeah, her expression is definitely mischievous. She's very expressive too, unlike some of the others. I find sometimes the faces of the Bishoujo statues can be, a little indistinct, as though they don't add any, extra quality to the pose or the sculpt. Instead, they kind of end up being a run-of-the-mill pretty face.
Yep.
Yeah, but here I think there's something different happening with this figure.
Yeah, and then Jaina looks good from pretty much every angle as well.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of detail in her hands, her hair, and even the little ribbing detail that they've given to the straps.
Yeah, and the helmet she's holding too looks awesome. I'm not so much of a fan of the flight vest. It kind of, I kind of lose the lightsaber behind it. It looks like she's giving it a quick twirl, and I miss that detail. Look, I wouldn't necessarily change the color or the design of the vest, but I thought maybe a bit of a repositioning. I thought maybe if it slid down to and was hanging off of her elbow, you'd sort of leave this area more free, and you'd sort of make the lightsaber area pop a little bit more. But, it's still a very detailed figure, and there's a lot of work gone into the folds and the straps, as you said. So, yeah, it's great.
I really like her. I think she's really cute, and she's definitely a buy from me. I really do like all of the detailing that they've put in here, but I also like the fact that she's not as sexualized as some of the other figures are. She's quite casual, she's quite relaxed.
Yeah.
The base, although we've got it clear here, you do have a little transfer that incorporates the Rogue Squadron emblem, which you can add for a little bit of color and a little bit of interest.
Yeah.
I think we'll be seeing a lot more of her in the third Star Wars trilogy as well.
Definitely. I think she's going to play a major role, so I look forward to seeing that.
Yes.
But with the Bishoujo collection, I'm not that big a fan usually. I'm not really one to accept statues or figures beyond their original conceptual design, and so therefore I might not be as kind with some of the other figures, but with Jaina in particular, I'm going to give her a buy. I think that there's something quietly energetic about her. She's very expressive. There's a mystery to her, which I really like. So as a standalone figure, I think she works really nicely, even if you don't like many of the others in the collection.
Absolutely.
Plus, she won't make your piggy squeal.
Wait, what?
Your piggy, break the piggy bank. Don't you hate it when you have to replace them all the time?
No, Ray, there's a thing under a plug. You can undo it and just you don't have to break them. Piggy bank killer. And now for something a little different.
Yeah, not completely.
No, just a little. Instead of a review, we are going to do a preview, as our friends at Humanoids sent us a sneaky peek of their new title, District 14, written by Pierre Gabout.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see something new that's about to come out.
is.
New hardcover like this that's only just been translated into English. Now, as people who watch the show will know, Humanoids have a reputation for releasing some quite odd, off-the-wall stuff, which is exactly what we love.
We do.
So it's quite exciting to look at this one. So, Sonya,
Yes.
District 14, what's it about?
Well, it's a hectic swan dive into 1940s Americana, complete with gangsters, aliens, and political intrigue.
Aliens, you say?
Yes, I did, sir. District 14 takes a look at a certain era in America's history, but shows it through a fractured lens. It's set in a fictional metropolis called District 14, and it's populated by humans, anthropomorphic animal people and aliens who are refugees from a fallen planet.
Now, one of these animal people, Michael, is the focus of the story, the main character. He's an elephant who's fresh off the boat and is immediately embroiled in violence and intrigue at every turn,
Yes.
alongside his new partner, Hector, who is a beaver and also an investigative journalist.
Very good at getting into trouble.
Yes, he is that.
Now, the art throughout this is absolutely amazing. Romuald Reutemann does everything in black and white, and at the start, you kind of feel like it's a little simplistic. But as you go through this book, you realise how detailed and intricate every single panel actually is, especially when you get to the big cityscapes in District 14.
Well,
Amazing.
I think the same can be said of the story, though. You know, it really kind of unfolds around you while you're not paying attention, until you realise it's actually quite this complex lattice work of conspiracy and corruption.
Yeah, there is certainly a heck of a lot going on, and you kind of get wrapped up in everything that's going on, and you suddenly realise that you actually don't know much about Michael or Hector and their backstory. But as it begins to fold out at the end of the book and you finish that last page, it's like, oh, I need the next one. You get so invested in them.
I know, but I honestly feel, for myself anyway, this is a book that's more about big ideas than it is individual characters. I think there are a lot of questions that are asked in this one. I mean, District 14, like any city, is made up of 1,000 stories, and at least half of them are lies in this case. But this book does ask you that question, you know, are we better off with the truth?
Yeah.
And I think readers will be asking themselves a lot of troubling questions before the end.
I tend to agree. This is a book that presents so many moral conundrums and steadfastly refuses to give you easy
Any at
answers.
all,
You gotta
yeah.
make that up for yourself.
Yeah.
Now, in its original French, District 14 won the Best Series Award at the 2012 Angoulême International Comics Festival. And now that it's been translated into English, I see no reason why more accolades won't follow.
Absolutely. Now on to the exciting stuff.
Yes, there is exciting stuff.
Yes, now the guys at Humanoids have sent us a hard copy of this book, and after several hours of arguing with Sonya, we have decided we are going to give it away
I'm not happy about this.
to one of our loyal Kapowians. Do not let her make you feel guilty about this. So, we're going to be having yet another one of our world-famous competitions.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned for more details on that. Okay, let's just get this out in the open and over with right from the start.
Yep.
Okay, Harbinger is a series that largely focuses on a group of teenagers who have superpowers.
Yes.
Furthermore, it's about them being trained to use those superpowers and then getting a funky code name afterwards. But look, I know what you're thinking. Don't think that, because this is completely different.
No, well, for one thing, no one has an X on their uniform.
Not
I
at
know,
all,
I
no,
checked.
yeah.
Yes. But simple cosmetic differences aside, writer Josh Dysart has taken an idea that we're all pretty familiar
Yeah.
with and very elegantly sidestepped all the kind of cliches and tropes that we find in this kind of story and has created something quite fresh and quite exciting.
Absolutely. Now, the focus of this is a young man named Peter Stanchek, who is on the run with his best and only friend, a paranoid schizophrenic called Joe. Now, Peter has these quite startlingly scary psychic powers. He gets scooped up by a group who call themselves the Harbinger Foundation, who promise him that they can teach him to harness his powers, to control them and to use them better. But are they as altruistic as they appear to be?
Which is one of the things that I really liked about this book. There are no shiny, squeaky clean heroes, but there are also no maniacal evil for the sake of being evil characters. Everyone's got a bit of both happening to them, so
Yeah.
you're never quite sure what's going to happen, and I love when that happens.
Absolutely, and it looks great too.
does.
There's some great artwork from Kari Evans and Louis LaRosa, among others. There's a few
Yep,
other
there's a couple
artists
of
in there
artists.
as well. And I mean, the character models are really nicely designed and very consistent. The framing, although quite standard, is really effective too.
Yeah, now I have to mention the colour work in this because
Oh,
it is
absolutely.
so deftly done. Ian Hammond has done such a wonderful job. Each of these characters obviously have a different type of psychic power, and Hammond has tailored the colour scheme for each character and it gives it a really nice sense of mood and temperature, which I just think works so beautifully in this.
In a time when pretty much every publishing house out there seems to be reinventing themselves in some way or another, I think Valiant has got a really nice reboot on their hands here. I think it works really well. I mean, if I had to be critical of anything, I would say it does have a tendency to get a little bit overly wordy at times, but honestly, it's a minor glitch. It really doesn't take away from this as an overall experience.
Not at
I
all.
really enjoyed this book, and it's a big old buy.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm really happy that I picked up Harbinger. It's such an interesting take on an idea that we've all seen before, but it makes it fresh and new and exciting. I can't wait to read the next one, so it's definitely a buy from me as well.
Excellent.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, guys.
Sonya,
Well-
actually that's not entirely true.
Really?
Because there is another little chunk of Kapow over at sftv.com.au.
That's very true. A kapowette,
Yes, if you
one
will.
could say. Yes. So if you want a little extra kapow in your life,
And who doesn't?
well, it's very true. Head on over to SF's website where we'll be looking at the Superior Spider-Man and Repossessed.
Which is going to be great.
It will be.
Now, next week we'll be back here. We're going to be looking at Todd, the ugliest kid on Earth from Image, and also DC's new title, Insurgent.
Yes,
so that's
but
going to be great.
It will be amazing. So until then, guys, see you later.
Bye.